Look at this card, Ingrid.
I love that card. That was a StampNation tutorial.
Start this just to make sure it works.
That's fine. I'm gonna be
Hold on.
marking my brushes.
All right, yay! Hi guys.
Hello.
Nobody's on yet, so hopefully that means.
Hello, replay world.
Let's see.
Hi.
Oh, we got 3.
Somebody's up.
Hi guys.
Hi, Kimberly.
Yes.
Hey.
Yes. Here we go. We are kicking off. This is an exciting week, Ingrid.
It is. It's very exciting. It's very exciting.
Ingrid and I are doing a live together. Yay! Cheers.
Cheers.
I
I have stencil tools. She's got actual
have my coffee.
beverage.
Because Ingrid's in charge this morning. I'm totally excited about that.
We're gonna play.
So do you guys want to know what happened to me this weekend? So,
This is a good story.
yeah. Ransel and I went to the beach to see what projects we need to do before the rental season. And we got home from Topsail Beach. It's about a 2.5-hour drive, and pulled in the driveway at 9:30 at night. And I went to grab my purse.
No
and
purse?
It wasn't there.
That's like your worst nightmare, right? Ask Catherine what she has in her purse.
My MacBook Pro.
Yeah. That's like her third arm, basically.
Yes.
Yes, it's life.
So I called the restaurant. You think back what happened. So Ransel and I went out to eat dinner, and then we went back to the house to pick up Mr. Eli because we brought him with us, and then we left. So I said I didn't bring it to the restaurant because I would have remembered having my giant bag there. And then, so I said to Randall, I remember standing at the bar packing my purse, and then I had to, okay, this might be a little TMI. He was putting
I saw you before.
this red stuff in the toilet on the bottom floor because it goes into the septic system and eats it all. So he wanted me to use that bathroom before we left. So I had to go up all the way upstairs, grab toilet paper, and then go all the way downstairs because it's like 12 floors.
So basically it's Randall's fault.
And that's what he said. He goes, so it's my fault. I said yes.
Pretty
so
much.
I was intent on going to the bathroom, and so I left my purse on the bar. So on Sunday morning, I woke up, and my plan for the day was to create cards with this release so I would have them. And instead, I drove all the way back to the beach by myself, pulled up in the driveway, and there's my purse sitting under the carport on the picnic table.
And I can't even believe that it was still there. I mean,
Well, our house is like kind of
It's a little-
remote-ish. There's
but you can see the carport.
on the left, it's like 3 lots full of brush.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, there's one house, and then there's just vegetation.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a busy road.
It is a busy
so
road,
people
yeah.
aren't walking by.
And it's not season. It's not the season.
It's not the
either.
season,
Yeah.
it's February, and it's cold, so nobody's like loitering about.
You just wanted to go back to the beach.
I was at the house for 7 minutes. I was not happy, but I listened to 5 hours of podcasts.
That
It was
is
awesome.
time well spent. Time well spent.
So
Hi, everybody.
that was my weekend. How was your weekend?
My
Ingrid?
weekend was good. I was filming some more.
How fun!
Yay.
I love weekends like
Lots
that.
of videos. Lots of videos. I was very productive. I was very impressed with myself.
I'm thinking about going to the beach for 2 days and doing that.
Oh, you should. Yeah. Oh, peace and quiet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nobody will bother me.
That's right. Especially if you leave your computer at home.
No, Ingrid. No, ma'am.
Oh boy. So, are you ready? Are you ready?
I have my hot cup of coffee.
She's
Hi,
excited.
everyone. Let's say hey. Let's see who's here.
Oh, look, everybody's here.
Woo!
Oh, yay.
This is exciting. I gotta put this down. Okay. So Sally and Kimberly. Hey, Susan and Brenda. Brenda's a lucky girl.
She is.
Is her stuff going out today?
I'm not sure.
Because Brenda's our big bingo board winner, and so
Yes.
she is getting a big prize pack of new stamps.
Oh yeah, it's probably going out today because that would make sense.
Elaine, so Elaine, I want to know, you have a box of missing ink pads. Are CP ink pads in there, Elaine? You need to tell me. How did I sleep? You know what? If I had known my computer was outside in the 30-degree
Oh,
weather overnight,
yeah.
I would have gotten right back in the car and driven
Oh,
to the beach.
definitely. Yeah.
But I thought it was in the I was pretty sure it was in the house.
Yeah.
I'm not going to live that one down with Randall, let me tell you. Hey, Lisa, SMB, who's that? From Ohio.
Ooh.
Creighton Crafter and Joanne. Susan! We are excited to see you guys this morning.
Yes.
Drizzly, Oklahoma, Anne
It's
Marie.
Pretty rainy here too.
Do you know how to change a YouTube name? Anne Marie doesn't know how to change her YouTube name. Can you do that?
You can probably do it in settings, I'm thinking.
Probably.
Yeah. I know you can do it because I was Googling around for changing
Diane,
something else, and I
what's up?
did see a video on how to change your name, so I know
Yeah.
you can do
Yeah.
it. Yeah. It's probably in your settings. Yeah.
It is a drizzly, rainy day here today. Perfect for
Yes.
stamping.
Yes.
So, what are we doing?
We're not gonna stamp. We're not doing that. We're gonna stencil. We're gonna stencil. I'm so
What do you
excited.
have there in your hand?
I have life-changing brushes. I love these. Now, several girls on the team and actually several just crafty friends have been using these for quite a while, and we've been looking at them actually since even before creation.
Yep.
Love these.
Mhm.
And you know, there's all different kinds that are out there, but there's a big difference. And we're going to talk a little bit about these today, because the other ones that are out there are meant for makeup. So they're not designed for paper crafting, and these are designed for paper crafting, and that's the biggest difference between them.
And there's more sizes.
There's a
Right,
lot of
aren't
there's a
there?
lot of great sizes.
Which I thought, why would you want to use these?
But for
Until-
stenciling.
For stenciling.
Yeah.
They're fantastic.
Yeah, especially when you get into stencils, like we have that a rose stencil. You want to maybe get into the centers. You need something small because
Yes.
this ain't gonna cut
Yeah.
it. This is pretty big.
So these
So-
will be in the store for you guys tomorrow.
Very
Mhm. And we have a limited. We'll see.
Very
We'll see how much
excited.
you guys love them, but
These are awesome.
have those.
They're awesome.
yeah. So
very,
we're
very
gonna
excited.
see how to use them.
Yes. So we're gonna actually kind of, usually when we have a class, we always kind of have an introductory video.
Mhm.
So we thought we would do your video today.
Yeah.
And we
How
would
about
just
that?
Have some hands-on experience
Mhm.
for you. And then we'll have different videos that are going to take place over the next several weeks. And there's going to be some challenges, and it's going to be a lot of fun, because who
I'm
doesn't
excited.
love to stencil,
I
right?
love stenciling.
Yes, me too.
I don't do it enough.
You know, I use it all the time, and that's because I do a lot of mixed media. So stencils, like her computer's her third arm, stencils are my third arm. I cannot live without stencils. I'm surprised that I came here with only like 50 stencils today. I know, and I have some in the cart, in my bag, and it's actually bothering me that they're in the bag. Like, they have to be out on the table where it's nice and fun, they want to play.
That's awesome.
Do you remember the last time we used stencils, Catherine and I?
I want to do it.
Okay, we're going to try not to have that today, so, yeah. Now, if you have any particular questions, also, definitely ask us.
So in case you missed that one, it was the mono printing. When was that?
Gosh, that was...
Over the summer?
Yeah.
The
it was-
mono printing
it was
live
hot
that we
out,
did.
yeah.
It was about an hour. Ingrid and I sat at the table. We don't have the table now because we had to rearrange
Yeah.
the office to make room for this growing company, which is exciting. But so now we're going to be doing this in my office. But we were mono printing together for
Yes.
just an hour, hanging out, experimenting and playing.
And if you have not seen that, you need to watch it, because the feedback that we've gotten on that video
Yeah.
is phenomenal.
It was really fun.
It was a lot of fun. And you know what? And
We just
part of
played.
it is too, because we're just two friends hanging out crafting.
Yeah.
And you get to see us, and we literally worked almost the entire time. We
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
So yeah, if
It
you
was
haven't
super
seen that
fun.
one, you should definitely check it
Yeah.
out.
So let's do it again with some stencils.
All right.
All right.
Let's get over
Here
there.
we go.
We're gonna shift.
And so here, oh, let's see, hold on. Okay, so you can see today is a dreary, gloomy, here we go, there, yucko.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I came in, my hair was all cold. Just from going from the car.
All right. I'm excited too. So, all right, are we good? Yes.
All right, so I thought that we would just kind of start at the very beginning, if that works for everybody. You know what, I'm gonna actually pull this up on my phone too, now that we're talking.
Okay.
And I thought maybe we'd talk about the different types of stencils that are out there. So,
Tripping over things here. Here, I've got this too. I'll bring the computer over. We can see big.
Oh, that'll help.
Old eyes.
We're gonna get set up for you. So if you have questions, ask us. Oh yeah, because I have a new phone, and of course it's not set up on Wi-Fi here or anything. So
Randall and I, you want to? This is a little embarrassing. Here's another TMI. We went out to dinner, and the waiter was something to look at. So then when he came up, I also noticed he looked at Randall a little bit more than he did me. So I had to tease about that. But anyway, with my glasses on, I can see far away, but I can't see close up, and vice versa.
Me too.
So I would have to look down at the menu, take off my glasses, look at the menu, and then I have to put them back on to look at him. And then I'm like, I have to put on my glasses to look at you. And I was like, oh my God, that's embarrassing. And he's probably the age that he would be dating one of my daughters. So that's
boy.
Awesome.
Oh, poor Randall.
Poor Randall.
Poor Randall. All right, so I brought a kind of a handful of different stencil type products, and I love this one. If you obey all the rules, you miss all the fun.
Hey, I want to stencil that in my Cambo.
That's not awesome? I love that. Yes.
This is great.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a
Ooh,
fun one.
I want to stencil this.
Yes.
In a light color, and then do this on top.
Ooh, that would be nice. I like that.
Yes.
That's a great idea. You should totally do
I'm
that.
totally doing that.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning here. So we've got all different types of stencils. They come in all different shapes and sizes. They come, this nice large ones. This is 9 by 12. You've got 12 by 12 stencils. And let's see if I can hold this in the screen. You can see they come other sizes as well. And then you always have some that are kind of like a little, just slightly larger than a card. So if I were to put a card front behind here, this was a Hero Art stencil, so you can see that that fits just perfectly over it. But I think one of the more common sizes today are 6 by 6s. And does anybody know what stencil this is? This is our first stencil, I think.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. My favorite way to use that is for
well-loved.
placements.
For placement.
Stamping little
Oh,
stamps in
yes,
there, and then
that's-
they're exactly lined up. That's my favorite use of
Yes,
that.
Christy and Maureen do that also quite a bit.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I love, but this is a great stencil to work. And then you can also use other things. They also come.
Diane said she loved your Europe trip pictures.
Oh, thank you. You'll have to stay tuned. There'll be more. And then you could also have paper stencils. And what's cool about this is from Faber-Castell, but it's not, even though it's a thicker cardboard than normal, I actually sealed this with gel medium.
Oh, yeah.
So out of it because something happened to it.
And then I know sometimes people will use this for a few uses, and then when it starts getting crazy, then you, glue it into your mixed media journal.
Yes, that's a
page.
great way to use that.
Yeah,
it's a great
so
way to use
it's different than these. They're not meant to be as durable and used time after time after time.
Exactly. And then you have other companies that also use lighter materials. So this is one of some of the best material out there. I love our stencils. The quality of our stencils are awesome. And here's also just as great a stencil. It's just a little bit lighter weight. I personally prefer this one.
That's awesome.
I love this stencil. This is coffee. I did use this in one of the tutorials, so I'm very excited about that. And then you have things like this. Anybody know what this is? I did a tutorial.
Kind of like hair gel.
A little bit. I did a tutorial on it in the Faber-Castell class that we had. So those below, because there's some great tutorials. Like I will link also a video to actually seal this, because that would be helpful.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Blur.
Yeah. Are you guys having blurriness? Let me refresh and see if it's.
We just want to make sure you can see everything, because this stuff is cool and you don't want to. Let us know if you have a good connection. Okay. All right. Good. So these are basically cover plate. Can you grab? Would you mind grabbing it?
Yes. I don't know what she's saying yes to. Is she saying yes?
Are you saying yes? much blur, much cutting out, Kelly says. Little buffering.
Okay. I see like what internet connection we're on. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, I'm gonna see if that helps at all. Is that better, you guys? Now it's frozen because I clicked off and now we're back.
Oh, that's much better. Look at that. That's crystal clear.
Huh.
What did you do?
I turned off my cell data.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Okay.
We just hacked our way into a better
Well,
photo.
isn't that lovely? Oh, goody gumdrops. Oh, I'm being weird.
Goody gumdrops. That's a new one. Okay, so here is a cover plate in case you didn't know what a cover plate is, and here it is cut out. And what I did with this is I actually sealed this with gel medium as well because I use this as a stencil. And then when I was creating for this release, where is my fun little, can you see it somewhere?
What is it?
It's probably right in front of me, the interact. I'll look for it. It's probably somewhere right here. Oops. We'll find it.
Here it is.
Thank-
You're welcome.
And it's out of our chocolate cardstock because our chocolate and our black cardstock are really nice and heavy. I love those. And I sealed it by clear embossing powder, front and back. So it's a little bit, and it's great when you're doing, and you know, using these type of brushes. We need some ink. That's what we need.
Yeah, is it blurry again, you guys?
What's going on?
I don't know.
Because we're going to be moving around, so. While Catherine's figuring out the technical difficulties, somebody shout some colors. Oh, okay.
Oh, they will brush that. But
Okay.
yes. Oh, that looks good now. No.
No, that's odd. We might need to get our let's see here. So what colors would you all like to see me use? We're going to play a little bit. I need a 3-color combo, something that's going to blend really well. Take limoncello. I like that.
Hold on, I'll be right back. Let's see what this does. Sewing rather than.
Okay. Awesome. Well, that looks clear.
Yeah. Oh, wow. That looks amazing.
Crystal clear.
Okay.
All right.
Let's cross our fingers. I'm
I'm going to just do a little bit here. I'm using this as my stencil. All right. Just because I love it. I love this dye.
I love this
love
dye.
this dye.
Julie Mogford is a queen.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is. Let me get some of these other stencils out of the way so you can all see. Or would you like to do this?
You
want
do
me to do
that,
it? Okay.
and Can I stencil this feather on
Yes,
here while you're
you
doing
can.
that? Will that? Okay.
Can you want to do it so that they can see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just be working on a side project right here.
Yeah, we just want to make sure that it's in the shot.
Okay.
Okay, so we have melon ice here. I've got a lemon. I've got a yellowish one here. So I'm going to first use the Ranger tool because I want you to see the difference between, I gotta take my glasses off. Because just like you, mine are for distance. So what I love about this interlock die is you can see that center right there. That center is awesome because there's so much cardstock right there. I don't have to worry about getting a weird kind of like shape. It's all because normally when I do it, I start off my project and work onto my project because I don't want to have that harsh look that you can get with these tools or really any tool because the most ink that you ever have on your tool is going to be in the beginning. So I'm just kind of stenciling it here. I always have to be used to Catherine's ink pads because they're very different from mine. Mine are a little drier.
Get some juice on there, girl.
Yes, I inked up a couple for my tutorials, and I was like, oh my gosh, I put too much on there.
Never too much.
That happens. Ooh, look at that.
Ooh.
That is very cool. I love that.
It looks a little bit like green tea. Did you have another color on
I
there?
had another color on here,
Okay.
so it just was a little contaminated,
Yeah.
which is fine.
No, it's totally
It doesn't
fine.
bother me at all.
Yeah.
That I got over that stuff a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can drive yourself crazy. All right, so we'll line that back up. There we go. And now I'm going to come in with oh, that looks really nice. I love that. Now I'm going to come in with one of the new life changing brushes. I'm going to grab some melon ice. And I like to tap this off because just like with the other tool, the most ink you have is right at the beginning. So I'm just going to start there, and then I'm going to use this the same way, coming outward. But what I love about this is because there are, gosh, I don't even know. Do you know how many bristles are in this?
Thousands.
Thousands of bristles.
Hundreds of millions.
Hundreds of millions. Trillions. Yes, no, there are a ton of bristles in this. But they're just so soft. The look you get is so soft, so much softer than the actual tool itself, the Ranger tool that we've all used for so many years now, right? So,
Yeah, I'm digging these.
look at the difference. And I don't know if you can see that, but can you see how much softer that is?
Oh, wow.
Than using the Ranger tool. And there's no right or wrong. One, is not necessarily better than the other. It's just a different look. So it's whatever you're trying to do. But if you ever have difficulty, I have a lot of students who sometimes have difficulty with these tools. I would suggest trying these because I think you get a much more effortless look. That is gorgeous.
Look what happened.
I love that. That's so pretty. Oh, did I take your pencil away?
I was, what?
No, it's over there. You were what?
I was so distracted by what I was doing, I forgot to read comments.
And I forgot to use more colors. I was so excited by the looks.
Oh my gosh, she says her cat is watching what we're doing.
Oh,
That's awesome.
he probably wants to chase the brushes.
So Lisa, these, no. Actually, you know what?
What?
So you know when you re-ink an ink pad? Okay,
Yes.
so if you're going to be using a lot of stenciling and ink blending, you're definitely going to want to make sure you have these ink refills on hand. So I probably just used a pretty decent amount of ink from there. And then when you ink it, you have these marks. And I mean, you can go like this, but still when you stamp it for the first time, you're going to get streaks.
Sure.
So I usually take a clear or one of our blocks because it has the nice round so it won't damage your ink pad, and I just rub it across. Or you can take your ink,
That's a great idea.
this, and then now look.
That's a great
And then now I
idea.
have all this ink.
And
to
she
then
just
come
has
in
to
here.
keep playing.
Yeah, well, I guess we're going back. So yeah, these are really super soft and it doesn't damage your ink pad at all.
Yeah. I love those. I'm having so much fun with them. And I've been using the other kind for a while, but my pet peeve with some of the makeup brushes that you can get, the hairs come out. And that can actually bother what's going on here because one is not necessarily in the same direction as the other ones. So that's kind of a little bit of a pet peeve of mine with those. I actually prefer these much better. So
Yeah, they are pretty great.
now there are other tools that you can use as well. Nuvo has some brushes like this, but they're a little bit more of a coarse brush, just like a stipple brush. I'm sure, do y'all remember stippling? From way, like, I mean, the first time I
Back
ever
in the day.
stippled with stencils, I think was 2003. It was the first time I ever did it. And then, I know I have those too. Where did they go? Oh, and does anybody have these? The Claire brushes?
Oh.
Because these are nice and soft. Not as soft as the life-changing brushes. These are much softer.
Oh, wow.
But still,
Yeah.
they are soft. They're definitely softer than this and softer than the Ranger tool, the Tim Holtz one
Yeah.
that comes out that looks like a lipstick case. Not sure what the exact name is of that. Let me put my glasses on because I can't see. Does anybody have any questions so far?
All right, you ready to see this?
Let's see. Ooh, that looks awesome. Oh, I love that. That is awesome.
Let's just
I can't even say anything. That's just so cool. So cool. All right, I'm gonna put this to the side because that's a good sample. Now, you also have different types of paper. So here's watercolor paper. And a lot of times I actually like to do stenciling on watercolor paper because it's just a different surface. Do some different techniques with it, but it also kind of absorbs ink differently. So I'm just gonna take this fun stencil. Oh, and I should probably talk about one of the major rules with stenciling. I'm using the, oh good Lord, Ken Oliver. I'm using the Ken Oliver mat.
I like Ken Oliver.
Yeah, I met him with you, yeah, Creativation, and he's a really nice guy.
He is.
But his mat is different than the regular mat that we're all used to, in the sense that it's kind of sticky. It's not, well, sticky's not the right word. Anti-slip?
Yeah.
I don't really know how to describe it completely.
I might use this to put under my rugs in the house.
But, oh, finger in the pad. But reason being is my paper doesn't move around as freely as it does over here. I can't do that over here. I can do that over here. I can't move my paper. So, and that doesn't mean that you don't necessarily need to tape your paper down. If you're getting really intricate and you're not focused on what you're doing, then I still encourage you to tape your paper down. You can use purple tape, or you can use painter's tape like this. Because the one thing that you don't want to have happen when you're working with stencils, especially if you're going edge to edge, is you don't want your paper to move. So I'm just going to tape this to the back. So I'm taping the back of my project to my actual stencil itself.
Do you mind if I keep playing?
Not at all. I want you to keep playing.
Okay.
And then I'm going to tape my stencil down on top of it. But notice that I don't want my tape to cover that because I want to cover the entire piece. So now we're going to actually do the full coverage that Susan wanted. Let's see here. So we'll start off with Melon Ice.
Purple tape.
Awesome. And we're going to do a little ombre. So we're going to start with one color. And this is one of the things that I love about this tool. The amount of coverage that you get is matched. I have never gotten this kind of coverage so quickly. And you guys know I love to do scenes. And doing a sky can take a while. Not with these brushes. These brushes are awesome. They're awesome, awesome, awesome. So I like to take my lightest color first, and I like to go even further with that. And then from there, I go into, I'm trying to think, should I go Melon Ice Lime Ricky or Melon Ice Aquatini? What do you think, Catherine?
I am missing Tiki Torch. That's what I think. Sorry. What?
Which progression do you want to see?
Oh.
That way?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Okay.
Melon Ice.
Melon Ice is fun. I haven't played with Melon Ice in a while. Thanks, Susan, for recommending that. Right. Now, the other thing that you want to do with these is you're going to want to clean them in between colors.
What do you need?
I had a roll of paper towels. Oh, there we go. It must be in my car. So you're just going to kind of go off on a here. When you're done for the day, I kind of like to keep one to a certain kind of color family a little bit. And then when I'm done, completely done at night, then I take them to the sink and I rinse it out with some soap. And you can use any soap. Let's see
I
here.
used all blues on these, and then I was going to change
I think I'm going
to
to save that one.
pinks.
I know I used blue on one of these somewhere.
I'm going to need 2 sets of these.
Me too. Yeah, I've decided that I need actually 2, possibly 3 of the large 4. And then I think I'm good with the small, one set of the small. So, all right, Aquatini.
So Jill says it's blurry again. Is anyone else? I was a little blurry and I refreshed my screen and it looks better now.
So now you can see here how quick this goes. And I love this. And, you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about care of stencils. When I first started stenciling on for cards a couple of years, about 5-6 years ago, I was a little OCD about it. And I had to clean everything off the stencil all the time, every day. Well, that got really old really fast. And you know what? I was spending more time cleaning my stencils and not having as much fun. So I have since forgiven myself and I just keep them as is. Now, if I have, you know, like dye ink like this on here, then I will actually clean it off, but this is paint. I don't bother cleaning that off anymore. And
If you guys are seeing it blurry, try refreshing your screen and see if that helps. And if it persists, I will work with the internet connection again. I'm sorry, I'm shaking all over the place.
You're good.
Here, let me go
You're
back.
good. All right, so now we've done aquatini. I'm just gonna put that off to the side and I'm gonna go back in with my green brush. And I keep putting my finger in the ink pad. Does any of you do that? All right, so we'll take that and we're just gonna, now I got a little excited and I went too fast and I put too much pressure down. So it's a little darker there. But the thing that's really nice about it is the stencil does provide a buffer. So that out a little bit. This is gonna be really cool. All right, let's see here. Now the last thing that I want to do is I want to come in with a lighter color. So I'm going to come back in with the Melon Ice. And I'm going to actually use my yellow brush to do that. Because I want to just get a real nice effortless blend here. All right. So I want to challenge you to take your stencils and work with your dye ink. And then we're going to start to get into lots of fun different moves as the class progresses.
I'm having issues with ink that was left over.
Ah,
So
we're going to pull this off.
I have purples and blues.
Ah, here's the big reveal.
All right.
Love
wow.
that. That's so much fun. Now this is watercolor paper versus regular cardstock. And I find that a lot of times on watercolor paper I get a really, really smooth coverage. What about you when you do it?
Oh yeah, get it
Yeah.
really nice.
Laurel actually got me.
Uh-huh.
She's the one who got me to blend a lot on watercolor paper versus just regular cardstock.
So they say it's blurry again. So let me try something. Just hold on.
Doing that.
Let's see how this is, you guys.
So the next thing I want to talk about is, and I'll just talk because you guys can hear me, right? Versus what we're
Is that
working on
better?
for- That looks clear.
All right, maybe I
Okay.
just have to keep moving back and forth between cellular and Wi-Fi. What in the world?
That is very odd.
Yeah.
So I want to talk a little bit about masks versus stencils. So Catherine's using a stencil right now. She's using one of my favorite stencils. You know what I would do is put a pop of orange because that'll get rid of that. Because that'll help with that. She's experiencing contamination on the brush.
Yeah.
Or,
I was
or
doing-
it was on
I
your
was-
stencil, one or the other.
It's on the brush.
Okay.
A lot of blue and purple was on the brush.
Yeah.
So
I find that if I use red on a brush, I think you need to think about when you're using red or anything that has a red base, and you've just got to dedicate that brush to that color because it's really hard to get red out. Red is a pigment that just stains.
So you
And
may,
it stays
once you go into
behind.
red, you
Yes.
may not go back.
Yes.
We'll see what happens here.
Why don't you pop some of this in there?
Some orange twist?
Yeah, brighten it up. See if you can do
Okay.
that. Yeah. Well, and you can also take another color, but so this right here is a mask.
Oh, cute.
Okay.
Little
And-
house.
Yeah. Same thing with this. Does anybody know the difference between a mask and a stencil? About to ask you.
She's just
using it.
joking.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so a mask is basically the cutout part of a stencil. The stencil is what's left behind, and this is pretty much the negative space. So basically what you're doing, so Catherine, can I borrow yours
Yes,
right here?
ma'am.
So what Catherine's doing right here is this is basically the negative space. And when she puts this here, the positive is what she's actually creating by putting ink through there to create that image. So if that was whole, let's say everything cut out as one piece, then that would be a mask. So let's say this wasn't connected and this middle part came out, then it would be a mask. That's basically the difference. You have to think of Zorro. Zorro wears a mask, right? You can't see the eyes. But if you were to spray Zorro's face, what would be left?
Where the mask was.
Exactly. So that's how I always remember it. I think Zorro.
Interesting. I like
Yeah.
that.
And this is actually one of my all-time favorite stencils.
Really?
All-time favorite. I use this, in, you can tell I use it a lot.
Yeah.
I use it in mixed media a lot. And the reason being is because of the edges.
Oh.
Because this is a free-flowing stencil versus one that has an edge, like that
Okay.
one and that one. So it's very easy to line up and continue with your design. Oh, that looks awesome. I love that.
Cool beans.
All right. So what do you want to talk about now? Let's move on to something else.
And as I'm in the center, I'm getting more concentration and saturation of the ink.
Yes.
And then as it rubs off of the brush onto the paper and I go out, there's gonna be less ink on my brush, so I'm gonna get a lighter stenciling.
Yes.
And so it'll be lighter as it goes out.
Just
That's
like
like
that too.
spirograph.
Like the softer, I call it feathering.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Yeah, it looks really cool. I love, this is one of, I've done that on cards and that's one of my favorite techniques.
Yeah, I actually hadn't done it that way. This is the Twisted Sunburst stencil.
Yeah.
And I think we're sold out and we just
They just
got
came
them in today.
I just physically saw them.
This is one of those stencils
Yeah.
that we have issues selling out of it often.
It's a very popular stencil. And especially this, when you start doing this with multiple colors, it creates new patterns, new designs, and that is some of the magic of stenciling. So here, this is a project that I had up on my blog today for the hop, but you can see a lot of times you can use stencils, meaning I'm using this new interlock die right here, just to create that little background. And then you can also do different techniques. Well, here, let me show you this too. Same thing, but I did kind of the using different colors just to highlight that middle, which is a lot of fun.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love that card.
Both those cards are gorgeous.
They're fun. And then use
Oh
those brushes
my.
to actually do that part. I'm sorry. But stenciling here, this is really something that I love to do this. So you stamp an image and then you take a stencil, and this is where you can think a little bit outside your box. Outside the box. And you just put your stencil down and you start to stencil over your stamp, and all of a sudden you have pattern within pattern.
That would look amazing over this cottage garden.
Oh, good.
too.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
And I wanted to tell you guys, this stamp set, Fearless Pursuit, I am in love with the sentiments on this set. If you missed it in the SOA, this will be in the store the end of March.
And this is a great stamp set to use with stencils, actually, because you can create that nice, fun little pattern, and you have those nice, bold sentiments to emboss over that.
And I can't, in my Cambo, use the Misty, so, and I don't want to mess it up, so I'm going to practice on scratch paper first.
Oh.
Just to make sure it's going to come out the way I want it to. Okay. It's a little light in there. I might need a little more ink on my midnight ink pad. Okay, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, you're good.
We're kind of playing a little tennis right now.
And then
Volleyball.
we're gonna talk a little bit more. This is actually a tutorial that we actually have here at StampNation. This is using pastes with some pigments, but you can see stencils can really give you a totally different look, and you can work with all different types of mediums, not just ink. And this was gonna be a project, but it got messed up. Can you see?
Oh, I know
That would
you
be-
can cover that up and fix that.
I tried with the background, but I want you to not just think of just backgrounds. I want you to also think about using your stencils in other ways. And that would be, I masked off the cart here and then use the exact same stencil to create a pattern in there. So you can really kind of stretch your
really
stencils a little bit. All right.
Very nice, very nice.
All right, let's see here.
Okay, I'm gonna practice again.
Which stamp set? The Fearless Pursuit?
Where?
Lisa.
What did Lisa say?
She needs that stamp set.
Oh,
So I wanted to kind of show you too that stenciling is a great way to highlight lots of different colors. This is using the oxide inks,
Oh, wow.
and then using a stencil to emboss on top of it to just seal everything in. And this is doing mono printing, and of course you've seen lots of mono printing here, and you will see it again. But also just to sometimes just create that little interest underneath techniques. Using it with water, and then using multiple stencils together is always a lot of fun too. So, alrighty.
Be fearless in the pursuit. Set your soul on fire.
Nice.
Boom.
Oh, it's perfect. I'm wondering if you can stretch that stencil a little bit. I'm just playing. I'm not gonna mess it up. She's like, don't touch mine, don't touch mine. I want to do that. We need that as a ringtone.
I want to do it.
We need that as a ringtone. All right, so next up, we're gonna actually use some other types of cardstock, because I know that I always have a tendency to grab white, but if you do the exact same thing, so let's pick something that we already did actually, and we'll use a different kind of stencil. Let's start with this one. And we gotta first secure that down. And then we'll use the same colors just to give you an idea of that you get a completely different look. All right. Love the stencil. Oh, thanks, Lisa. The Twisted Sunburst, Deborah, that is, if that's the one you're talking about, that is a rockin' stencil.
It's out of stock right now, but as soon as they count it in and add it back into the store, it'll be back in there for the release.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so let's do the same colors. Or should we do your colors?
Sure. Oh, well, is that craft card
It's
stock?
craft cardstock. I want to show the difference of how
Okay.
different it looks. Well, maybe we'll do this one. We'll do the same one so that you can see how different it
Yeah.
looks. All right, back to Melon Ice. And I'm going to use a different type of brush here.
Oh. Oh.
Now you can see here, this is
The
some of the
cir-
difference.
Circle stencil is, that should be in our shop. Ring, pattern of the rings.
Pattern of the
Yes.
rings. Yeah, wow, look, that's totally coming apart. Just driving me crazy.
The bristles out of
Yeah,
it? Oh.
brand new.
All right.
All right, I don't have my yellow stippler with me, but stippling is another way that you can actually add some interest, and I think Katrina did some stippling the other day, right? When
She
you
sure
guys
did.
were doing a live.
I don't think I want that. She sure did.
And then we'll go into Aquatini.
And that was great when she was using the small little picket fence brushes.
Yes.
She was really able to get into the small little parts of the stencil, that Celtic roots.
Yeah. And you know, there's lots of different stencils for different things. There's stencils for walls, there's stencils for canvas, there's stencils for, you know, all sorts of different things. Mixed media stencils, but also work great on cards. Yeah, that turned out really cool. I really love the purple mixed in with the brown. Yeah,
That was unexpected.
yeah. Catherine has some spa colors in her journal.
I sure do.
So you always want to come back with your light because that helps to blend. And another thing that I also love to do is tear an edge because it just gives you a different, I don't know if I brought that sample with me. I did that in one of the tutorials, is sometimes, you know, something's not working for me and I just tear the edge and it gives you a total different perspective. So you have this pattern and then all of a sudden something different that comes at you. So, all right, move that and then we'll go to here. And I'm gonna use the other side here because it's a similar green and melon ice. And this is a total different look from ink blending. because you're pouncing it, and these are a lot harder, a lot coarser.
Jill, that's a great question. Here is a card front. So, yeah, it's too big. You could probably just do part of it on the card. That actually would be really cool.
Yeah, it's funny
if you
because I
just
almost
did, like,
used it
this
in
part.
a tutorial.
Yeah.
So here is the sand dunes cardstock, and here's watercolor cardstock, and I know we have one other sample, which I've already lost. This is just like me at home. I don't know what happened. Do you?
What are you looking for?
The first sample that I made. No idea. But you can see that because this is, and granted, I probably should have done something a little bit darker, but because this is very, not too far off from watercolor, but it is slightly different. But stippling gives you a, thank you, because this is melanized too. And you can see what a difference that is from here to here to here. On here, I got a little too much green going on there, but you can see that there's a big difference there. So,
Nice.
all right. Yeah, I could stencil all day too, Lisa. All right, anybody have any questions about anything? I'm thinking we're pretty good. You got this covered? You feel like you got this covered?
Yeah.
All right.
This is exciting. All right. So, when is the first official
Wednesday.
tutorial coming? It's
Wednesday.
Wednesday. So today was getting your feet wet,
Yeah.
wetting your whistle for
Right.
what's to come, and then
Jill, I'm gonna have, like I said, after the class, I'm gonna pop in that link because I have a tutorial on it.
okay.
Yeah, on different things that you can do with gel medium. So I'll pop that in later,
Wonderful.
so that'll answer that because you'll have a video on that. I'm so glad you liked it,
So
Brenda.
will you do a post on StampNation, embed this
Sure.
video in there,
Yes, I'll
and
do
then
that.
link to the
Yes.
things that, so then you guys will be able to just go straight to the thread on StampNation and access.
And I'll take some photos too of some of the different tools so you can see that as well. Some of the basic tools that you need is you want to have, some form of getting the ink or whatever medium you're using through your actual stencil. So whether it be a palette knife, if you're working with textures, or be a brush. Today we were working a little bit more with brushes, like you might need a palette knife or a spatula is another way of
So-
getting stuff through a paintbrush if you're doing water techniques.
Nuvo is coming out with a new one of these, and we're gonna have them in the shop because they're pretty
They were awesome.
fantastic.
Yeah, Catherine and I had fun playing with those.
Yeah, we did. And some new mediums from Nuvo are
You
coming.
definitely want a spritzer
Yes.
because anytime that you're working with ink, you want to just lightly spritz a paper towel so that you can just gently wipe that off so that you're not contaminating getting that other color into another one, or especially if you're going back and you want to keep things light. So I just wanted to before we go, just kind of show you, think outside the box. Not all stencils are whole patterns. Sometimes you just have that little something.
Oh, that's a cute stencil.
Yes, but sometimes you just have that little something that you can pop onto another one, and you're just going to take, which one should I use on here? That one, okay.
Oh, to go with this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe this one.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe the lines, because it's
Yeah.
opposite.
And we'll just grab a brown. I grabbed some over coffee. I was doing some blending with browns on this. So I'm just gonna, I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. I don't want to do it. I'm scared.
Don't do it.
I'm scared. If you ever get like that, I'm scared. I'll take a mixed media piece. That'll make more sense.
Very scary.
I'm so scared. I'm scared. Take a mixed media
Oh, yeah,
piece.
that'll be better.
So just adding just a little bit. Now this is paint underneath, so the paint's going to resist.
Oh,
So the
cool.
area that doesn't have that is going to actually just pick up this one. Now normally, if I were doing this on a regular project, I would probably mask off the sides. But sometimes not stencils are not complete 6x6s and things like that. This right here, drywall tape. This is one of my favorite
Oh, wow.
stencils.
Drywall tape.
I stole it from my dad's garage.
Nice.
Then he came in and he's like, I was looking for that. He's like, and I said, well, oh, here, Dad, I only needed a piece This was when I was in Germany. He's like, oh, you use this for your arts?
Oh yeah.
He's like, here, you can have this roll. Now have this size. I have it in this size too. I'm like, I got enough, Dad. Thanks. Like 3 rolls of it now.
Oh, sweet dad.
3 rolls of it. This is a doily. You know, anything that has pattern works. So I challenge you to go, not just look through your crafty stash, but go into your husband's toolbox or your toolbox if you are the handy one. Garage, kitchen, see what you have around that you can use as a stencil and just get playing. All right? That's all I have.
Wonderful. You guys have an awesome day. Thanks for hanging with us and playing and yeah.
Come into the stencil pate. pARTy.
pARTy. We're weird. All right, you guys have an awesome day. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.